Let's bring in ABC News Supreme Court contributor Kate Shaw along with ABC News Deputy Political Director Avery Harper for more on this. And Kate, the court has several key issues coming its way. So what are you watching for in these hearings?
That's right, Diane. The court is considering some huge and important topics both this spring and scheduled for next fall. So the future of constitutional protections for abortion and Roe versus Wade, affirmative action in higher education, environmental regulation, the Second Amendment and gun rights. So I'm sure she will be pressed on some of those substantive topics, but the tradition today is that justices or nominees don't directly answer questions about how they might decide particular cases. So I don't think we're going to hear much about those cases specifically. But of course, the senators will be trying to probe questions that speak to her judicial philosophy. Does she interpret the Constitution as it would have been understood when drafted, or as its protections should be understood today? Does she think about the consequences of rulings in different directions? So I think, like Stephen Breyer, she will have a fairly progressive approach to constitutional and legal interpretation, and we'll learn about that. But I think we'll also learn the kind of, sort of personality she will be on the court, and in some ways the kind of public figure she might be. The Supreme Court is a particularly non-transparent institution, and the justices, prefer to do their work outside of the spotlight. But these hearings are an opportunity for the public to really get a window into what the Supreme Court does, and in particular, in light of some of these enormous issues they're going to be deciding, it's a good thing for democracy, for the public to have some sense of what the justices do and how they think. So I think we'll all be looking for that kind of public education aspect of the hearings that'll get underway just in a few minutes.
Yeah, I always feel like I learned something new watching these hearings, some new legal term I wasn't familiar with, or you get to learn about some of the significant cases that are about to come before the court. And Avery, we saw also that poll showing most Americans support Judge Jackson's confirmation. How significant is that to the senators charged with voting for or against her confirmation?
Well, I don't necessarily think that that will weigh into these senators' decisions, but I think that it does show that there is an appetite among Americans for the flavor that Judge Jackson might bring to the court. It's been established that she's highly qualified, but I think that something that many Americans are taking stock in is the breadth of her professional experience and her lived experience, and I think that's something that many Americans think would be valuable to the court.
And Kate, Justice Clarence Thomas is hospitalized with an infection. We're told that he's now resting comfortably, expected to be home in the next couple of days. Does his being in the hospital right now, does that affect these proceedings at all?
I'm sure we'll hear sort of well wishes sent to Justice Thomas for a speedy recovery. I'm not sure it has any sort of substantive impact on these proceedings, but I do think that Justice Thomas being in the hospital, right, we just learned Sunday night that he had been hospitalized since Friday on intravenous antibiotics. The court is comprised of older individuals, and things are precarious at the Supreme Court, right? Both Justice Ginsburg and Justice Scalia obviously passed away while serving on the court. Again, all indications are that Justice Thomas is on the mend, but things can change quickly in a court of just 9. And so even though a confirmation of Judge Jackson would just essentially preserve the status quo of a 6-3 conservative court, things can change quickly. So I'm sure that will hang over these proceedings, even if they're not, if none of that is explicitly acknowledged in the Senate this week.
And Avery, Republican Senators Susan Collins, Lisa Murkowski, and Lindsey Graham, they all voted to confirm Judge Jackson to the D.C. Circuit Court, but all three have been non-committal about supporting her this time around. What does Judge Jackson need to do to win their support or the support of any other Republicans?
Well, nothing is guaranteed this time around. This is the nation's highest court, and so the stakes are different. I think that each of those senators you mentioned will have their own reasons about whether they'll support her or not. We know that Senator Collins said that she wants to see how Judge Jackson handles the questioning during these hearings. We know that Lindsey Graham said that the radical left won when Jackson was nominated, and we know that he was in support of a different candidate, J. Michelle Childs of South Carolina. And when you look at Lisa Murkowski, she's up for re-election this year. She's up against a Trump-backed primary challenger, and so there's going to be questions for her. Does she want to give those folks another tool in their arsenal to wield against her?
All right, Kate Shaw, Avery Harper, thank you both.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.